Okay, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, fishing accomplices, good morning and welcome back to fishing. So it is November 1st, 2024. It's a Friday, and I fortunately have the day off from work, but unfortunately, in typical weekday off fashion, the conditions are not particularly great. So I'm fishing someplace close to home. We got some pretty stiff winds. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much more about that, but we're going to try and make the most of this. I was looking to go out east a bit more, potentially explore some new areas in this particular realm, but with the way the winds are, I just want to stay someplace where I know how to kind of read the conditions. So that being said, we're going to try and make this work. The area I'm fishing today, I've fished quite a few times, both this year and in past seasons, but I have found that in, the earlier season, it's a bit tougher to get on to some of the larger fish. Like, I'm sure I'm going to find fish today. It's just a question of whether we're going to start to find some, legal size ones. I did get some legal size ones in this area in the beginning of the season, but since then it's been a much slower pick. I've really had to work a lot of different pieces of structure, and that on top of that, it's been very warm lately, and today in particular it's supposed to reach near 80 degrees, so it's going to be a warm day. I'm looking at my fish finder right now. The temperatures haven't really gone down too much, so I do think it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but whatever. We don't have too many more days left in the season, so I'm going to give it my all. So that is what I have planned for you, and I hope you stay tuned as we get some fishing accomplished. Okay, so today, before I commit to any one spot for super long, I just want to try a little bit of drift fishing. I'm just curious, like not drifting, but just not anchoring immediately. So I do want to, try and find a spot that's holding some potentially larger fish. So I'm just going to cut up like one crab at a time and see what we can do. This spot I've tried a few times before. I'm not going to anchor right up, but it does look like there's a little bit of life here. So let's see. Get a little bit more over it. We have a wind versus tide situation, so make the most we can of that. All right, at 24 feet of water, half-ounce jig head. Got a big piece of structure right here, completely submerged. Looks like there's a little life on it too. So let's get a look. See if it's worth throwing the anchor down. Water's still warm, so these fish should be fired up. Try and hold as steady as possible. Yeah, we're getting taps. One. Not quite the size we're looking for, but something. All right, anchored up. Drift a little bit off of this. Let's see if I can readjust, but let's see if it even matters. There's a lot of fish here. Not too far off the piece. Little better, still not great. Okay, unanchored, new spot, new rock, and I have not fished this one before. It looks like the kind of rock that might not get as much attention as others. It's a little more low-key, so let's see if there's any fish here. If we get bites right away, we'll anchor up, but let's see if there's any life here before we make any huge commitment, because I really don't want to lose too many anchors today. I only brought 2. And I kind of need them to get through the weekend, because I need more line too. That's an improvement. How orange that guy is. Definite improvement. Okay, anchored up, spot number 2. Got 2 shorts. One of them was a little bit better, so we'll try this out. See what's around. It's gotta be a toadfish. What'd I tell you? Big, nasty toadfish. They always seem to find it first. That was a grab of me. That was a grab as it went down. Better. So. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Jeez, that's a good fish. That's a keeper. Very nice keeper. Heck yeah. Not a huge one, so I don't feel terrible about keeping this one. Yeah, nice fish. Good measure. It's about 17 and a half. Not a huge fish, but it's good size, so we'll take her. Thank you, girl. You will be put to good use, I assure you. Okay, first keeper. Good way to start things off. 17 and a half incher. Yeah, this rock's a bit on the smaller side, so it doesn't surprise me there's a better sized fish there. Like, this is a spot that I could see being overlooked because there's so much like bigger, more dramatic structure around. But now the season's starting to really, you know, I don't want to say dwindle down, but we're well into it. You know, we're gonna try and hit that stuff up that hasn't been hammered to death. That's exactly what we're doing. All right, well, we've hit two separate spots and found fish as expected, just not anything terribly great. Certainly we're happy to have gotten that keeper, but you know, I just didn't really feel like there'd be too many more there, so we didn't hang out too long. Again, we're really trying to target the spots that are on the smaller side. If there's a few, you know, pieces nearby, that's obviously a plus, but the stuff that's not the most dramatic, the stuff that maybe hasn't been picked or hammered as hard, since this season started about a month ago. But as we do that, you know, we got one fish in the boat. I think it's time for some refreshment. I think you know what I mean. It's time for the seltzer of the day. And you might detect in my voice, I've got a little bit of a cold that I've been fighting for the last couple days. I had something a bit more esoteric, but since I can't really taste super well, I figured I'd go for something I have more of and save that more interesting one for its own separate section. So we have LaCroix Beach Plum. I've done LaCroix before, but never this one. It's kind of messy. Yeah. I know a lot of people give LaCroix a lot of crap, and I don't love all their flavors, but this one's really not so bad. I don't know how you really distinguish beach plum from, you know, plum or peach, but I guess it is slightly different. It's in that family, and again, my taste isn't super strong right now, so take all this with a grain of salt, but pretty tasty, refreshing. I give this just a round 8. Maybe I would reassess if I could taste a little better, but enjoyable enough, not bad, not amazing, just right. Okay, new piece, similar to before. Before I anchor, I'm just gonna try drifting. That one just like picked it up from like a small fish. I don't think it was huge, but it was definitely a different caliber of fish that I've been getting bites from. It's a good sign. Okay, definitely just dropped a decent one on the drift of all things. So we're gonna try anchoring here and see what happens. Some fish here. And that one was definitely on the better side, so see if we can pull some nice ones. Oh, that is the opposite of what we want right now. new spot. Tried fishing this spot a few weeks ago, but the wind just really made it difficult to hold it. And it's still bad wind, make no mistake, but it's at least doable today. And this is very similar to where I've gotten some of my best hits in this area this season. It's not the easiest spot for an actual boat to fish either. So let's see if there's any big ones still around. There's definitely got to be some nice fish around here, or at least there were. That's much better we'll be getting. That's a good start. Yeah, so I remarked that fish was on the better side. Obviously, it wasn't a keeper, but every spot I've gone to, I'm starting with shorts for the most part. And that was definitely one of the better quality fish right from the outset. I'm getting a lot of shorts. Even the spots I'm not showing you, I'm getting a lot of small fish. But obviously, I want this video to not be 3 hours long, so I'm cutting a lot of this stuff just because it's a bit underwhelming. But I do want you to get a feel for how many spots sometimes we have to go to just to find some quality fish. And you'll see as this video, gets to the end, when you find that right spot, you don't need to leave. But, these first few spots, they are not the spot. They might have a good fish or two, but if you're just getting one short after another and they're very small shorts, it's probably best just to pick up and go somewhere else. And that's one reason why I'm not jumping right to the anchor. It's pretty clear the spots that are worth fishing once you find them. Definitely better fish here. Alright, we tried anchoring. We're a little bit off the structure, but I think we're close enough. Definitely some better sized fish here right from the outset, so let's see what we can do. Cut up one crab before we go crazy chumming the waters. That's a good one. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. Yes, indeed. Mama. Called that one. Knew there had to be something good over here. My goodness. Tank. It's about as big as I'd want to keep a fish, as I've said, especially a hen. Really nice fish though. Alright. Alright, another nice keeper tog. See if we can get down for one more, get our limit, and then we're just fishing for fun. Happy with whatever we can get on a day like today where it's kind of nasty wind-wise. Fortunately, we're fairly sheltered. So almost immediately after getting that larger fish, I really saw a dip in the quality of the fish I was catching in this spot. Like, not even just bigger shorts, just really tiny fish for the most part. And so I didn't really hang around here too long, but unfortunately, my anchor got stuck and I couldn't shake it. So I ended up having to cut it. And while I did have a backup anchor and some line, it wasn't a lot of line. And if I did have to cut the anchor again, that would have been it for anchoring for the weekend. And I did want to fish the next day. So I was very reluctant to anchor from this point on in the video. So if you see or wonder why I'm drifting so much more, that is why. But that being said, the wind did crank up, so just fishing in general became a bit more tricky. But fortunately, we did eventually find the spot we were looking for. Well, just lost that anchor, which sucks. I do have some line at home. I got enough line to like anchor somewhere shallower right now, but I'm gonna try and just get away with drifting for the meantime, because I don't want to lose another anchor. Okay, new spot. I'm fishing the JC jig now, J and C jig. Just I snapped off my bottom sweeper jig in the last one. I'm gonna try drifting it before I anchor. I don't even know if I have enough line to anchor this thing. It's probably gonna be very close. Tide is very high right now. Let's see what we can do. That's a good one. Jeez. On the drift. Drift nonetheless. Yeah. I'll round out the limit. Getting that heavy structure. Not a huge one, but nice male to close out the limit. Actually a little short. What do you know? I mean, he's like touching it, but again, if I smush him, he's not quite there. Nice fish though. Right on the line tug. A little too close to call. That size isn't really where I want to keep him. So, that's the first fish we get though. That's a really good sign. This spot's got some good fish on it. A nice male. Got a good feeling this spot could hold a good keeper. Pretty interesting. Perfect. Nice short, all shorts, very nice shorts. No keepers yet. Damn it. Jeez. Jeez, I didn't even feel that big at first. Yeah, that's a good one. Jeez. Big fish. Didn't even feel big. Biggest of the day. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. My gosh. That's a monster pen. Oh. Gosh, look at that fish. Knew we hung out here for a reason. You're not going overboard because you will snap that rod. Let's see just how big this fish is. Yeah, I gotta let this one go. This one's almost 21 inches. Gotta wait though. It is about 6 pounds. Very pretty fish. We'll let her go. Very, very nice blackfish. Just a little too big. I mean, especially as a hen. Beautiful fish though. When you were out a bit more east on a party boat or something, it wouldn't bother me so much, but here, yeah, good. Oh man, another good fish. Very good fish. That one I'll maybe keep. That one I won't feel so bad about. That's a bit more proper. See, good karma. It's a male, so that's perfect. That's a limit. That's a kept limit. It's probably 17-ish. Let's find out. Probably should have measured him first, but yeah, it's 17. All right, well, it appears my intuition about this spot was correct. You know, big shorts and, you know, barely keepers right from the get-go, and clearly some much better fish, and they're biting now, so I'm gonna fish a little longer. I know obviously I can't keep any more tog, but I'm fishing for fun. You know, fight like this, you want to take for everything it's worth, because it won't be like this too much longer. Go whole crab, looking for a big one. Oh my god, no! No, he snapped. No, he didn't snap me. That was a big fish. Damn. That's a good one. That's very close to legal size, if not legal. It's probably like 16 on the money, 15 and a half. Gobbled it up the second it got down. Jeez. It's probably a tiny bit under, but, well, let's just finish up these crabs. I've had these crabs for like 2 weeks, and I don't want them all to die in the back of my truck, so let's use them as they were intended to be used. Nice try. That's a very nice fish. That's a legal one. legal or legal adjacent. Very fat. It's almost like too fat for its length. Well, what a day that turned out to be. I did not have very high expectations for how this would go with the wind and, you know, just how I've been fishing this area, plus all the warm weather, but we managed to really eke something out today. I know obviously we did struggle a bit. We fished for quite some time, but you know, these days are certainly fleeting, so I was very happy to put the time in the water, check out some areas that I haven't really fished before for tog, and ultimately be successful and leave with the limit, and then some. But yeah, I guess, you know, when those fish are fired up like this, you don't even necessarily need to anchor. You know, you just find the spot where the best fish are and just hammer them for whatever they're worth. I could have kept fishing that spot. I know there were still some more good ones there, but obviously had to wade through a bunch of smaller ones to get there. But it was a blast, you know. Just those fish were just so fired up. I guess the real trick right now, again, is where we are in the season. Water's still pretty warm, so I think, again, considering how some of these spots have been hammered, there's a lot of areas that could hold bigger fish, but they've just been kind of like, you know, picked off, all the bigger ones for now, until, you know, things really cool down to another wave of new fish move in. But yeah, just half-ounce jig heads, bottom sweeper, and J and C, and that was all there really was to it. So now I gotta get home, get some more crabs. We're gonna try and do this again soon, and I will catch you on the next one. Goodbye from fishing.